All right, what's going on, my aristocrats? We are back after about a year and a half of a hiatus. Hope you all are having a great day. It's very, very wet and foggy today, but here we are exploring a new location in the forest. So I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about where I've been, because I know a couple of people have actually asked me to start posting on the channel again, and they were wondering what happened to me, and they were wondering where the hell I've been and why I've been so inactive on YouTube. But honestly, there was just a lot going on. I mean, for those of you that have stuck around the channel for a while, some of you from last year know that I got hit by a car. So there was a lot of injuries, broken bones, and other such things that I was recovering from. And then on top of that, the job crisis is also very bad over here. And so for all of last year, I was having a lot of trouble finding a job, and so that is where the majority of my efforts went, instead of towards the YouTube channel. But everything is back in order now. My body is mostly healed. I finally have a decent paying job in my field, and so I'm in a much more stable position now, knock on wood, that I can start making videos for the channel again. So here I am. Today, it's very, very foggy out today, and it's a new location in the forest that we're exploring. It's right by the highway, actually, at least this section is. But we're doing a little bit of an adventure, a little bit of exploration. And some of you have spoken to me as well about you guys struggling in the job market, struggling with finding something in your field, being competitive, all that stuff. Excuse me. So I'm here to give you guys a few tips. Number one, networking is key, but I understand that there's a bit of hesitancy towards networking events, and I'll tell you why. Because networking events nowadays solely consist of you going up to the booth, talking to the people about their company and about what their company's about, what some of the positions are, all that, and then you want to hand them your resume, but they all say, oh, apply online, apply online, apply online. It gets very redundant and it gets annoying. Because that's not how networking events used to be. Networking events used to be, you go to the event, you meet people from the company, and they'll hook you up because you took the time to come out there, at least with your resume, and then say, okay, we'll set you up at least with an interview. But it doesn't work like that anymore. And it's very disheartening that it doesn't, because that's exactly the system that we had for decades prior to the internet, prior to the automation of the resume system and the application systems. So it's a bit disheartening to see that personality doesn't really shine through anymore unless you somehow manage to snag an interview. And even then, if you have a bunch of candidates who are qualified and have similarly great personalities, they got to choose somebody. And nowadays, there are a lot of candidates. Anyways, tip number 2. You want to be sure with whatever job you're applying for, whatever job description that position has, you want to be sure to read it properly, because sometimes they have discrepancies in there that you need to put in your resume. They have things in there that say, hey, we want you to put that you worked from this date to this date, or the format that they want you to put the dates in, the format that they want you to edit your resume in, because sometimes they'll want you to put the education about the job experience, sometimes they'll want you to format the dates of employment for previous employers a certain way, sometimes they'll want you to include the contact information of your previous employer, such as the cell number or the number for the store or wherever you worked, or an email, because sometimes they want that point of reference to show, okay, this guy's confident enough that his superior in the previous place is going to say something good about him. But don't do that with every resume. Don't do that unless they ask, of course. And some of them will ask. Yeah. So be sure, because most people do not read the fine print, be sure to read the fine print. It's very important. Especially if you're applying to federal jobs. Federal jobs especially require you to read the fine print. They don't say it and they don't mention it, And the reason why they don't mention it is because they want people who are very attentive and pay attention to the details that are in front of them. That's why they don't mention it. But to show that you're paying attention, you got to read the fine print, especially when it comes to how to format your resumes. Some job descriptions won't have it. A lot of them don't have it. But you always have to look out for it because it's very, very important that you format your resume correctly to how that position wants you to format it. Tip number 3. You want to develop good social skills. And when you have those social skills and when you're practicing those social skills, you want to be in a setting where you can practice them, like a gym, like a club, anything of that sort, because you never know who knows who. I can't tell you how many times, especially when I was applying for federal jobs or anything within the federal government, I cannot tell you how many times I've spoken to somebody at the gym, or I've spoken to somebody at the law office I used to work at, or the community organizations I'm a part of. I can't tell you how many times that I've spoken to somebody there, and they say, "Oh, well, I know somebody in this field, or this in this agency, or whatever." So you don't know who knows who. And that being said, it's always good to make a good first impression, and it's always good to not complain about your situation per se, but to talk about it. If you're having trouble finding a job, like, "Oh yeah, I studied, let's say for example, I don't know, criminal justice in college. I got my degree in that, and I graduated, and now I'm having trouble finding a job. I'm looking for work in this field. This is what I specialize in, you know." But I mean, make the conversation flow, of course. You don't have to spit everything out all at once. That's not a good thing to do. You spit everything out all at once, that makes things a little bit different. But because then these people are at least going to know that you have some kind of motive. But I mean, what you got to do is you just got to make it flow, so to say. Integrate it into the conversation well. Make it flow. Where the hell does this path go? Hold on. Right over there. It goes right to the highway. I don't know where the hell that goes. And then there's another one that goes this way. We're going to go down this one in a little bit, but we're going to explore this one first because it looks shorter. All right. Back to this now. Let's see where this goes. But yeah, as I was saying, fog's clearing up. Kind of sucks. I like the fog. Oh shoot, there's something to read over here. Hold on, look at this. Let's go up to it. What is this? Cunningham Park. The Wisconsin ice sheet stopped here. Ooh, okay. All right. It's talking about how the park was formed, I guess. Very nice. Had to travel a decent ways to get here. But here we are. It's just woods for now, but that's all right. I like the woods. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm doing a video out here. And this is where I feel the most natural doing a video anyways. I know you guys are sometimes used to me doing the car videos, but sometimes when I'm in the car, I don't know, conversation just doesn't flow as well. When I'm out here in nature, it's a little bit different. But anyways, back to what I was saying. Yeah, so you never know who knows who, and you want to be sure to put yourself out there a bit, make yourself known in your local community, and that leads me into tip number 4. Tip number 4 is extremely, extremely important, which is why I saved the best for last. Try to get involved with the community. Even if you're out of work right now, you don't have a stream of income, you don't really have anything to support yourself with, you want to get involved with your community. Join your church, join the charities, join whatever you got to join, whatever your community has going on. I know a lot of you guys have these little town events you guys can volunteer for. There's charities everywhere. Some of the churches have charities. That's what I do. I work with the charity with my church. But it's so important that you do this, because it gets the ball rolling. It gets momentum flowing, and it means that you're working on something even while you don't have a job. And plus, as I said earlier with tip number 3 about talking to other people and interacting with the people around you, this is the most important way to do that. And it's the easiest way to do that. Because at least now you have a setting where you have something in common with the person that you're conversing with. And you don't have to approach random strangers on the street and be like, oh, hey, my name is Bob or Joe or whatever. No, you have an organization that you're a part of with these people, and that already gives you something to start a conversation with, getting to know people. And it's very important that you do this, because once you start getting the ball rolling, once you start getting some momentum going with volunteering with your community, or just being more involved in your community in general, it doesn't even have to be volunteer work, it just could be anything your community's got going on, you will meet people. It's inevitable, you're gonna meet people. And those people might know people that might hook you up with something, or that might help you out with something. You never know. I mean, I'll give you an example. At the place that I used to work before I got my current job, my boss knew somebody in the federal agency that I was trying to get into, which I don't work for right now. I work somewhere else in my field of study. But he knew somebody in that agency. He put me in contact with that person, and that person was able to help me out to the best of their ability. Anyways, guys, that's going to be it for this video. I just wanted to show you guys a little bit of the new location, and I wanted to give you guys a little bit of a background of where the hell I've been at, and of course a few tips for the job market, because believe me, it is tough out there. I know how it feels, and I know many of you are struggling as well. But until next time, guys, have a good one, stay safe, and stay posted. Peace.